Only the good people.
Roll your shoulders back. Nice.
I'm sure they're gonna come hold me.
Alright. Okay. Now walk it by. Alright. Yeah, let's do some massaging of the neck. Just waking up at 8, 7, 6 in the morning. Right? Massage neck. Nice and good. Just relax the body. Relax. Give it a good massage. Alright, I always get some tension in the head sometimes. Massage your head. Whatever you feeling into. Alright, now massage your face, work it down. Now work down to the jaw, where the jaw and the skull meet right here. So sometimes singers a lot of the times hold tension here. Get all the tension out. Alright. Alright. Feels good. Shake it out. Alright. Let's one foot slightly in front of the other. Keep your body aligned. Keep your sternum up. This is a wonderful, beautiful day. Alright, this, we'll do this. And line your body up, straight. Okay, nice, good posture. And let us. We're going to do nice, pure Latin vowels. On E, O, and U, not A, not the diphthong. So E, ready? Ready? Okay. So E, A. Think you're gonna do this? When it comes to do, ready?
E flat. We need to go higher than that. Just saying.
All right.
You have an A this morning.
Can you do this for me? You be a scary ghost. Oh, yeah. Be scary. So we're gonna do some vocal slides like this. I'm a scary ghost. Scary ghost. Ready? And go. Scary ghost. Scary ghost. Scary ghost. Scary. Do some body motion and bend your knees while you do this, right? So you're reaching all the way to the top and have a little spin on the top, right?
Okay, that's fine.
I hope you didn't kill your voice, so you use the falsetto and be very relaxed. Okay.
Hey, so I'm gonna cut you off. I need to move into the rep.
Okay.
Good job. Potato 6, time to move.
Right.
I know you may have had a couple more, but it's okay.
No, there's only one more.
No. I don't want to take away from your conducting though.
Okay. Well, good thing we went up that high.
I'm freezing.
Yep, there's more. Everybody ready? Eyes up here.
Which one are we seeing?
Lock remote, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, please say again.
Lock remote. Lock three.
Okay.
A little bit more faster. go. 2. Measure 5. Can you
Hey,
can you
Donnie,
play measure 4?
the number one thing you can never do when you're giving directions is look down. You can with us because we're such wonderful people.
Yes. I want to go to
Even
measure.
I felt an extreme desire to misbehave while you were doing that.
Oh, that's no bueno.
Listen to Bryson. He's going to play measure 4. You guys are going to come in on measure 5.
It's so powerful. Just
Quiet. I'm trying to run a classroom.
You look at people, and it is a whole different thing. When I mean, and it's true. Professional conductors, they look down, they do their thing. People are expected to be. But you know what I'm saying? When we're working with kids, including college kids, they need our eyes. They need our souls. Right? Okay, one more time.
Sorry. Measure 4. Come in like, and can you do this like you're pushing a button? It's not a red button. It's not the big scary red, but just push the button. A little length on the notes on measure 5. Okay. So 4. He's gonna play 4.
Do that again. I didn't understand what you meant, where we were starting. Just do that one more time.
Okay. 4. Measure 4 with them, and then you guys come in on measure 5. Right?
First of all, I think your control over the third, eighth note of the beat is really, really good, Donnie. I mean, it's exemplary. Okay, it really exceeds expectations on that. So I want to know exactly what you're looking for on the length of this eighth note. Sing it for us, any part.
Give me a beat.
Yeah, so you want the full eighth note, but not decayed.
Yeah.
Right? 1, 2, 1. He. So take your hand and go. And I love what you did with them, but you still need to show it in your hand. That's our goal, right? So you're going and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not so different than what you asked us to do, put that in your gesture. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then release 1, 2, 3. So this idea of the third eighth note of 1, 2, T, 1, 2 does not apply here because you're trying to show us length. Okay. All right. So let's try it. Let's just start right on beat 5. See if you can put that in your gesture. Right on the qua.
Oh yeah.
Do that again, and this time we're not going to use your head and neck to show that, okay? That was really good in the arm. So we're kind of, so just pretend that your body is observing and it's not involved in this process, and your arms are showing it, and your body is just there, okay? How are you going to change the gesture? I mean, okay, is there decay in these dotted quarters, or is it all connected legato?
I think it's connected legato.
I agree. But I didn't want to assume that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the case could be made for something different. But I agree. So, and you decode. So conduct all the way through that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, T, T. Think of it like you're playing the cello on that, and that you're giving length to the note all the way through. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you only change direction when you want to re-engage the next note. Okay, start again. Measure 5 on qua, and then make that difference in articulation to the dotted chord. Qua. So what you kept us from doing is you kept us from decaying on that, which I think is really, really great. We unfortunately can't work longer on this. I love this piece so much. There's a lot of Requiem today, which is kind of fun. Does anybody know how much of this movement Mozart composed?
Half.
Less than half?
8 measures.
How much?
8 measures.
Really, only 2.
Really?
That was the first 2.
He pretty much quit when the choir came in. And even though this isn't an accurate statement, it's not completely inaccurate. That's where he stopped composing the Requiem. And that's why there's such a sad amen at the end, which I've always found compelling, that just 2 measure amen. But if he had written this, it would have been probably a 32 measure fugue. Well, that was what would have been expected. So why did the people who wrote this movement write a 2 measure amen instead of 32 voice amen fugue?
They figured that you couldn't write it.
They were like, "Oh, hell no," because because his best students could not compose like him, and they thought the best chance of pulling it off was not writing a fugue, which would have been clear to everyone. This is not Mozart. Why were they trying to make it look like Mozart?
Because his wife needed to collect money.
That's right.
So
She needed to be paid, and if it wasn't composed by Mozart, the fee went down. This was her last payment that she would get from his work. And so this was her best chance of not falling into poverty. They needed the full fee. And so they had to lie, and they had to try to make their handwriting look like Mozart. That's the conspiracy. That's the scandal. They were trying to get Costanza paid. All right, good. Thank you, Donnie.
All right, y'all. Go time.
The confitatis. Love it.
What? We are doing
This is like my favorite.
It's like your favorite?
Oh, I love this.
Okay, so, yeah, you got it, Bryson. I believe in you. That's all that matters. So,
It's not written for piano.
no, before we sing this, I just want to read the translation to you guys because it's actually really beautiful, and I want it to affect how you sing it because it's beautiful and I want you to sing it beautifully. And you will, but okay. So it is: when the accused are confounded and doomed to flames of woe, call me among the blessed. I kneel with submissive heart. My contrition is like ashes. Help me in my final condition. Yeah, it's kind of deep. So. Just want that to be in your heads as you sing it. Yeah. You can stand it. Let's sing. Huh? Okay. I'm used to it. Okay. Oh, I'm just fine. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta cue him, not us.
Yeah.
So you have to give him the prep and confitatis. You should have done it.
Yeah.
I wanted Donnie to do warm-ups today, so I kind of blew that, and I actually think about it right then, but that was painful. Not you, the lack of transition there. Let's get a little quicker. Confutatis. First of all, anybody tell me what key are the guys in? A minor. Right. The guys say confutatis, confounded, consigned to hell, flames licking at our souls. The women come in and they sing. What do they sing? What do they sing, Cleo? What do the women sing?
What key?
What are the words the women sing?
Translation. Shoot, I like had. I tell the translation.
Oh, Vokame
Yeah.
means call unto me.
Yeah.
Call unto me. Right? And what key are they in? C major. Guys are in A minor. We're all going to hell. Women come in. And they're like, no, C major. It's going to be fine. Guys come back in. What key are we in?
Hell.
Right. No, we're going to hell. And then the women come back in and they sing it in. Yeah, you're probably going to hell. I love it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're probably going to hell. So, you were right about that. You can still call on God, but it's probably not going to help. And then we have that other thing. It's such really wonderful writing. Needs to be more.
Yeah.
Watch this. T N. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I was lost for most of that. Because I've been doing it this thing in UC in 2, and that's just like so in my head that I literally started going in 2, and then I was like,
Isn't it great to conduct more than one piece at a time? Just like real life? And
real life.
so think about Don Giovanni, last section, right? If you guys know that, when Don Giovanni's being pulled into hell, same quality. Such a dramatic composer. I mean, this is opera here. Here we go.
Okay. Also, I just want for D, when you guys go back and forth, I want like each of those sections to be a little louder. Start, and then each time you come back, like starting at D and after that.
That's good. You're talking about where the basses do the little thing and we do the
Yeah,
little.
where they come in and everyone else comes in. Okay.
That was awesome. Taller and have to go higher. Yeah, you're shorting the prep. You're doing this. You're going. Yeah, and so you're saying, and it needs to be and up, boom, okay, and up, boom, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go and boom.
You can.
Okay, I will. Okay. Okay, I'm not. That's embarrassing. Okay.
Not bad. Many for you. I want you to see how high it goes. Here we go. I know. And
It's like, okay.
faces. Half step descending sequences. Half step down. Half step down. He should have marked it. Yeah. So did you see that, Bryson? That's a C natural there.
Oh, the third one.
It should have been a courtesy
Okay.
natural there.
Yeah. Is that like a?
Yeah, so it goes D. So it goes E flat, D, C sharp, and then C until finally the key of F, and then gives a 5/7 chord for the modulation. Really, isn't that terrific writing? Just beautiful. Good job, Cleo. Well done.
They got the 822 snatch.
Good luck, everybody. This might not be high school rep.
So middle school rep, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we playing with the intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the room, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
They make a statement about this before. It's popular recommend every hashtag just top hits.
What is
Yes, right here.
You guys would never read these little notes on those phones. You're never gonna be able to pull this off. Your eyesight is not that good.
Hey.
All right, here we go, Jeremy. You know what? Let's just do this first half. If you want to do the second half next time, I'll let you do it. But we're not going to have time to make it all the way through
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was.
Yeah, I should have broken it up into two different people. So my bad on forgetting how long that intro was.
Super fast, we can make it.
Well, but he'll be done when he finishes. We won't have any practice time, and I don't want to take that away from him. Everybody have a seat. Can we go right back to the beginning?
Yeah. Oh.
So Jeremy, this is such a great piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
So much. Can we start right with the basses? Come in. All parts. The word is requiem, right? Right. So I think it's legitimate to give a striking sound. I think on the re and obviously a decay then. So we requiem, you know, and all those parts that come in like that. Okay. So that with that bomb, with that accent on the re, plus. Be careful about emphasizing the end of the beat. Okay? Let me show you what I'm saying. Here we go, right at the beginning. And one. What we're going to end up doing. So be careful to soften that beat unless we want on that end, which is not usually in the classical period. But it's not impossible. Here we go, one more time. Those two things. To try it again, I don't think we were sure if you're starting on beat 2 or 1. Are you on 2?
I'm on 1. Okay,
Oh.
so. Not much here. The classical period means that we are in meter, right? Yeah. The Baroque period was not in meter. Tell me what that means. Baroque period was not in meter. He did break it up into groups, but it was not meter as we understand it in the late 18th century.
You can say emphasis.
Bryson, you're not in the class.
Actually,
Yes, Donnie?
I was going to say that you could see that emphasis and stress is easy.
That's right. So the classical period has one weak beat, strong beat, upbeat, more than the Baroque period has, okay? And so that really is true in this piece, but when it's not true, we bring it out, okay? One, re, 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 and re. So it's 2, 4, 2, and 4 in the first two measures, right?
Yeah.
So that's so Mozart was fond of blowing up the meter. And it's a fugue, so, okay? Try that for us, 2 bars. Yeah, try it again.
I think we 2 bars before.
Oh, yeah. Do the first 2 bars, starting on when we come in.
Got it.
Yeah, so I think by accenting 2, we can't accent beat 1. So we go and... So we automatically throw off everything in late 18th century right at the beginning. Try that one time.
I could work on all these movements for a half hour individually. All right. And then we close off with a hymn.
Ave Verum Corpus.
Yeah, this is a particularly horrible piano part on that. Sorry.
But this one.
It's unplayable, isn't it?
You can play this one.
Ave Verum Corpus.
Hey, Molly, you're not going with it.
Okay.
All right, very good. In this piece, we're given a few tempo ideas. First of all, what was tempo in the late 18th century? For example, those words that you put at the beginning, are those tempo markings? They're not. They weren't tempo markings until the 19th century. They were feeling markings. They were expressive markings, right? So there's two ideas on what we should do with this. One is the word adagio, which means what in the classical period? Really slow. Slower than lento, which is an awesome soup. What's the other marking?
Quiet.
That's not tempo marking, but he does say sotto voce, which isn't really a dynamic marking, except that it is, right? I mean, it's more of an indication of how to sing it, which is soft. What's the other tempo marking indication?
Where?
Can you see it?
I don't see any.
Really? Can't.
Really.
Bryson. Bryson gets an A. Yeah, he marks it in cut time. Now, a couple of things. First of all, Mozart was very confusing on his tempos. And number two is his dad wrote, tempo is the hardest thing. And that's quite a statement. for someone to say tempo is the hardest thing when you're as good as musicians as they are. So Mozart clearly intends for the beat to be what? A half note or a quarter note?
Half note?
Yeah. He intends for the beat to be the half note. However, adagio is usually subdivided.
What? Thanks, Wolfgang.
Yeah, so it's either, but the adagio is not referring to the quarter note, but to the beat, which is half note, right? And so as a conductor, we have a choice. We can either take an adagio in two, like this, and which isn't really adagio because I'm not subdividing, or I give a classical or Baroque style subdivision, which would be like this. So we have to decide which one we do, but it probably has to be that slow. Now, which brings us up to the 21st century of conducting. We know that in choral conducting, not necessarily instrumental, although maybe, I don't know, that the best decision on what beat you use is the longest one you can get away with. Meaning, if you can conduct 2 instead of 4, that's better. If you can conduct 2 instead of 6, that's better. If you can do 1 instead of 4, that's better. And so probably the right thing to do is this one. And we're going to that's probably the tempo and the feeling you're looking for. So the other thing that we know is they write, and Cleo indicated this, is he writes at the beginning, sotto voce, which means what? Text literally. What kind of voice?
Sweet voice.
No.
Half voice.
Half voice.
So
Right, so
that's
it's
sort of
not
half.
just how soft you're singing, it's the tone quality, right? Which are related, yes, but it's also, and then when does it get loud? Look at when does he mark for it when does it go to forte?
There's no.
Which is not saying you can't do it, but you're on your own. You're no longer in Mozart land if you make a loud section. There are times in which people do take this pretty loud, and they're probably wrong. But I give people a lot of license in interpretation. Yeah.
Do you think that Mozart did perform it like all the way through sotto voce?
I don't know.
No.
I don't
Okay.
know.
I'm just curious what you thought.
Yeah. You want to try it? Let's try it in 2, Dallas.
So the reason I took it in 4 was to give more information,
Yeah.
but
And so here, yeah, and that's an interesting point.
okay.
And the thing to remember in choral conducting is it's always better to have fewer beats than more.
Okay.
Which is another way of saying we're always better off when we're showing less information.
Oh, okay.
And it sounds a little crazy, but you know if you've gone to the summer workshops with Rod, this is probably true.
Yeah.
It's more artistic when we show less.
Right. Okay.
It's a little counterintuitive or disturbing. Slower. This one. It's going to be this slow, Dallas. Try it again. There we go. This is really hard because you have to control the beat. And 2. So you see how little you can do to control that. You see how little that is.
Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? And the information we're not showing is 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, which is what the information we don't want to show, because that's not the song. What we want to show is all right, so just know that Thursday is the classical reading, okay? Right? So you got to read, and there's a little test, and Jeremy's going to conduct on Thursday. All right? And what are you conducting?
The Durant.
The Durant. So we need our piece from the Baroque period. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? The Durante, Siku, right? He's just going to conduct for 5 minutes. And the classical Spotify list is posted.
And that's due at our final time.
That's due before you disappear for school break.
Cool. Like Friday, Saturday.
Don't worry.
I was just in the moment. I was in the one I wanted to go somewhere else.
Never shut me up.
I know.
Just